I, like many others, have been disappointed with the state of modern gaming. Like how my wife was disappointed when I told her I'm not gay. This disappointment is reflected in some pretty steep fall off in game sales in 2025. Ever increasing prices ensures I'm going to have to suck a whole lot of dick behind the KFC if I want to purchase a AAA title on launch day. The increase in price often comes with a lack of quality control at launch, and certain games essentially have a base price that gets you in the door with a ton of nickel and diming in the form of microtransactions. Quality is only going to get worse as some big publishers like Square Enix intend to implement AI into the process. So in the next Final Fantasy game, some developer might try to sneak in a picture of Shrek's fat hairy ball sack and the AI will interpret it as a green apple or something and let it through. Times aren't exactly great right now, and just like vacations, cigars, and prostate massages, video games are a luxury. And the first thing to go when money gets tight are luxuries. One trip to the grocery store just for my family's typical weekly stuff made me want to bust.
Oh my god! Oh my god, I'm about to bust!
It's $17.99 for a package of Golden Gay Time, and I eat a lot of yogurt. That's why I get so many yeast infections. I know a lot of people are in the same situation as me. The money, not the yeast infections. So it's hard to stomach dropping 80 Canada Land fun bucks on Farming Simulator. I can be bored in real life for free. If it comes to feeding their family or getting ripped off by the next FIFA, people are going to choose to eat. Unless you have multiple kids, then the biggest child can eat the smaller ones. A marketing research company called Circana recently revealed that game purchasing habits, at least in the US, have changed in 2025. Their data reveals that only about 30% of US-based gamers buy 1 to 2 titles per year, and around 33% don't buy any games at all. The remaining 37% can fuck right off.
Get fucked!
People aren't buying many titles, but that doesn't mean they aren't playing and, in a lot of cases, spending. They're just spending less or in smaller amounts at a time through microtransactions, which don't count as game sales. And just like at the illegal Chinese massage parlor, a $5 rub and tug in the bush is worth 2 in the ass hair. My dad always used to say that. I have no idea what it means. With the popularity of the live service model, a lot of people find their game, and that's mostly what they play, save for maybe 1 or 2 different titles here and there. Roblox is by far the most popular extraction shooter in the world. You get in, get your Robux, and get out before you're targeted by a pedophile. This game alone has 111 million daily active users. That's a lot of people playing one video game, with little desire to play anything else. The majority of the player base is kids, so they're not buying a whole lot of new release games anyway, but at the same age I was mowing lawns to save up cash for Charlie's Angels when I was a kid. Millions of kids play Roblox and only Roblox. And what little they spend isn't on Ninja Gaiden 4, it's on Robux. The same goes for Fortnite. It's still getting over 2 million daily users, despite being over 8 years old at this point.
Fingering my coochie with your dead mom's hand, munching on your pubes like I'm crunching sand. I touch myself till I fucking queef.
People who've been playing it for years and have tons of skins and other cosmetic stuff they've earned over time may never invest that heavily into any other game. Call of Duty Warzone, Minecraft, Apex Legends, which should have been Titanfall 3. All of these games have stood the test of time more or less, and those that really like them don't buy very many standalone titles. They play their game. Counter-Strike 2 and Dota 2 are still at the top of Steam's most played list after several years, along with other mainstays like Rust, PUBG, and Spooky Milk Life. There's no Borderlands 4 up there with Randy's squirting magic show. Monster Hunter Wild sales dropped off a cliff. There are several games out there that I would consider evergreen. They won't last forever, but millions of people have chosen some of these games as their main thing, so they don't have a desire to purchase many titles. Another major factor in the decline of game sales, as well as my collection of diamond-encrusted bad dragons, is getting priced out of the hobby. People like to cite those old video game flyers from back in the 90s to show that game prices haven't kept up with inflation.
Hey guys, you wanna go scaring?
While I understand the reasoning, and excuse my harsh language here, I think that's a load of poppycock. The popularity and customer base of video games has increased substantially since then, and it's now a mainstream hobby. Nobody thinks twice if you tell them you play World of Warcraft these days. Classmates won't tease you, the teachers won't find you after class and beat you up, your parents won't tell you you're adopted out of shame. The original Call of Duty is estimated to have sold 4.5 million copies by 2013, at an MSRP of $50 USD. Modern Warfare sold 19 million units at $60. The Modern Warfare reboot sold 41 million units at $60. The base price remains the same over the years, but the number of units sold is ever increasing. They also make a killing on microtransactions like skin bundles, battle passes, and a middle finger up the butt of their players. Nothing says we're piss poor or need to increase prices like a Nicki Minaj skin in Call of Duty.
Why the fuck did you grab my noodles? Is you fucking dumb?
If video game sales remain the same today as they were in 1995, I would understand the price increases a bit more. But Shigeru Miyamoto would shit his little pantaloons if Donkey Kong Country sold 10 million units back then. Maybe they would treat the franchise with more respect these days if it had. It's not only software prices that are causing declining sales. The cost of entry for consoles and PC components is crazy these days. If people want to save money on a console, they pretty much have to buy it used, which also doesn't contribute to sales numbers, because hardware prices this generation have somehow gone backwards. It used to go without saying that older consoles would come down in price as they age, and become more affordable once they're obsolete. I remember walking through the Piggly Wiggly as a kid, after the N64 came out. They had the SNES Junior models on clearance for $50. The Switch 2 came out in May of 2025, Nintendo's new big console. People were waiting for this release to get a better price than the original Switch. They were set up for disappointment. The original Switch, 8-year-old hardware at this point, actually got a price increase in August of the same year its successor was released. Those that waited for a better price have to sit in the cuck chair while everyone else has fun. If price is what's keeping a lot of customers away from gaming, it's not going to get better anytime soon. Although price doesn't seem to be a factor with the Switch 2, even though I'm not personally fond of it, it's a massive success and it's giving the industry a shot in the arm it really needs right now. Even casual players are becoming more aware of the disparity between price and quality that's as wide as my granny's ass cheeks. Talking to some of my coworkers who aren't as plugged into the industry, I hear more and more of them saying they're waiting a while to purchase games because they want all the bugs and issues sorted out before spending. As far as AAA gaming goes, publishers have conditioned people to expect new releases to be shit. This has been a stigma among the likes of Ubisoft and Bethesda for well over a decade at this point, and I'm honestly surprised it's taken this long for the bad quality fatigue to set in. Big publishers are way too comfortable putting stuff out before it's done cooking. We're finally starting to see the effects of those decisions in declining sales due to losing customer trust. The way people consume digital goods is also changing. Just using the word consume makes my butthole quiver. Makes customers seem like fat little pay pigs. You'll own nothing and be happy. And lots of people are happy subscribing to Game Pass or PS Plus for a temporary access to a library of downloadable titles. As far as I'm aware, a download doesn't count as a sale on the books. So the rise of Game Pass also has an effect on overall sales numbers, even if the games themselves are popular. Indie games don't seem to be suffering as much, but smaller games don't usually sell in the tens of millions of copies anyway, so the drop-off is more noticeable if the bigger game doesn't sell very well. I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing. It's just the market adjusting to changing conditions. Customers are more price sensitive than ever these days, so choosing between an $80+ barely running mess or a $50 extraction shooter that's getting a lot of positive coverage, or even a $20 Metroidvania, the choice is pretty clear. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. If you enjoyed, I would really appreciate a like and subscribe, and leave a comment saying, Big Booty Latinas.